So today's opponent is a good friend of mine. He's an amazing comedian, tours all over. He's looking especially brilliant today. Please, in your homes where we can't hear you or see you or even really know if you're watching, give it up for Ahir Shah.
Hello.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
How's
You good?
it going? Yeah, I am. I've realized that this is sort of among the more profound social interactions that I've had during this period of lockdown already. And all I've really been doing is watching The Wire and not leaving my house. So, you know that situation where you get too invested in something and you're like, maybe I just am Baltimore? And it's good to be speaking to you guys because it reminds me that I am in fact not Baltimore.
Yes, very much so. That's the I remember last time I watched The Wire, I couldn't see two guys standing out on a corner without hearing like, I got those red caps. I got those. A perfect show. If no one's seen it, check it out. But yeah, it makes everyone feel tough until they're confronted by tough people. Luckily, we have a drug house on my street. It's about to go because we're getting gentrified and rich people are snitches. So, but yeah, it's been there for a few years. They're very unsubtle about it, dropping keys out of top floor windows and guys stumbling out a la Bubbles. So it's been I've got like a daily reminder of how non-Baltimore I am. All right.
Career going. I live next to a crack den. So.
I used to live literally like above a crack den, and those crackheads couldn't have been nicer. They were really sweet. They there was a laundromat down the road, and when I would put my laundry in, one of them would sing to me.
That's so nice.
It was really sweet. They kept to themselves. They were very peaceful people. They just wanted crack. That was all.
Yeah.
I'm not crack. They're not interested in me. All right. So I'm going to be debating against Ahir, and to judge the debates because this is an argument, and Ahir and I are both very proud people, so we can't acknowledge when we've lost an argument. So I bring in a guest comedian, and today is awesome. He's a great friend of mine. Again, another amazing comedian. This is part of what I love about this is like you said here, I get to just hang out with comics for an hour, which I haven't been able to do since March, and I just miss you guys.
Yeah, that was like our
yeah, comics are just really fun people. So this is me cheating the system. But our judge today is great. He's returning to the show. Give it up if you're there for Garrett Millerick. Yay! We can clap. Well, Garrett figures out how to turn on his computer and unmute himself. He'll get here in the end. Yeah, we'll get there.
Those of you watching will probably be able to.
I've got audio here, but it says the host won't let me. Start my video.
There we go. All right, welcome. Hey. Nice.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How you holding up?
Yeah, I would just like to say before anything else, for those watching, some of you may be able to recognize Garrett's current surroundings and background, but we all need you to know that his life is not as depressing as it currently looks.
It is as depressing as it currently looks. Currently, I'm spending lockdown 2.0 in a Premier Inn. This isn't just. I mean, I haven't just put this in as a Zoom background. This is.
Yeah.
This is a Premier Inn.
Walking across the room.
Yeah. Eating the restaurants closed because of COVID, so I'm eating all of my meals out of a BP petrol station.
Unbelievable. Do they sell hot stuff? Have they got it like 7-Elevens back home where there's a microwave in there?
There's not a microwave, but there's a wild bean cafe, so I've had a lot of pasties. But it's mainly it's got an M&S, so it's mainly. I've had so many pasties. I bought one of these for lunch, a super green salad, but I haven't got the courage to eat it yet.
That's totally understandable. It's I don't no. Gas station salads it's like gas station sushi. Just stay in your lane, gas station. I want hot dogs and jerky. Like, give me Monster and get the fuck out of my way. Andrew, can you?
Natural, you don't tell jokes. All right, we've all got our roles to play.
Andrew, can you make it so the speaker view is on the all three for us, please? So I'm just talking for anyone not involved. Oh, can you make it for me though? It's not showing up for some reason. Oh, there we go. Cool. That's my mistake. I'm still learning how to use Zoom, you guys. This is you'd almost think it's not how I'm trying to earn my living right now. Cool. Imagine if I had these problems in a comedy club. Guys, can you just like move the stage? It's physically attached to the building, Chris. Oh shit, sorry about that. I'll come to you then. So that, by the way, that's a smoker's cough, COVID-free. Been on lockdown for 8 months. Haven't been to a bar. Now we're going to start the game now. So Garrett, you remember how it works, right? You argue or you decide who argued best. It's not about who's right. That's very important because
I've got a pen and pad. I'm going to take notes. I'm going to keep score.
Oh, fucking good man. And jump in at any point with questions. Call us on our bullshit. If there are plot holes, get at us. And here it's us, man. We're just going to be duking it out mind-wise.
Yeah.
So there's 5 rounds. There's the first round where we're going to do some topics, then a speed round, then a regrets round, speed round, then judge's choice round. So for the first round, we're going to get going. Ahir, what topic did you bring?
Well, having played this game with you in the past, I've always found it quite a useful way of talking through things that sincerely upset me and trying to find, and like you being better at finding the funny side of them than I ever am. And one thing that's been depressing me a lot recently is I recently saw my first piece of QAnon graffiti in the UK, and I was like, oh right, okay, that's here now. And obviously viral disinformation generally is very sort of upsetting and concerning, but I think this QAnon stuff specifically really has my head in a fizz about it. So I would love for you to tell me why the existence of QAnon is a good thing.
Okay. Just in case anyone's wondering what I defended for the last time that Ahir, I unburdened him. He made me argue why it was a good time that what was it? Your grandmother had dementia and died in another country, and you didn't get to see her.
Yeah,
and I won that argument. It was awesome. It's so good that all those things happened.
You made me feel a lot better about the situation.
It was very. It was as I remember as you were unloading sort of the layers of it onto the audience. Everybody was like, "Oh." I was like, "Don't worry, guys. I got this." So QAnon is the best thing to happen to conspiracy theories. And because you're never going to get rid of conspiracy theories. They're always going to be there. I used to be a conspiracy theory guy myself. Never like that deep. I was just like, spiders are secretly aliens. Like I was, I was, because like they're the only animal that sets traps. Tarantulas work on a hydraulic system. That's not right. That's space problems. They are the most adaptable species in the world. I can do this all day. I know a lot about spider aliens. To the point where I was drinking in a bar with a friend of mine, and she brought I can't remember what they're called, insect scientist, just happened to be there. And I got 4 beers in and then decided to spew my spiders are aliens shit. And I made
really believe this.
I was open to it being very true. That's where I was. And so I was like, I gotta run this past you just because when am I gonna get a chance to do this again?
Chris, was this a self-made conspiracy theory, or was this?
No, I made this up. This was on me. This is me amassing evidence over the years.
What I don't understand is that, like, why would it make things simpler if they were from another planet? Because they still would have had to evolve on that planet and then come here.
Or maybe alien god made them. They're too complicated to have just happened. Okay.
Okay, so you're arguing that QAnon is the best thing to happen to conspiracy theories because it comes with a support network of other conspiracy theories, so you're not flapping in the wind by yourself with the spiders one. Close,
but I will. I'll get to that. I'll get to that. So with the I just want to, just as another example of how good at this I am, I made so many good spiders or aliens points. This insect scientist had to be like, I'm gonna have to check some papers and get back to you. And I was like, yeah.
that is a man humoring you, or a woman humoring you.
She really emailed me a couple days later and was like, here's what's going on with
it's really heartwarming that she was that concerned, that she was like, oh, I really do need to send him the reading on this because he seemed very convinced.
She's the kind of person we need talking to these QAnon guys. So here's why QAnon is so good, is because before conspiracy theories were sort of they could come out of anywhere. There was any kind of measure. You never knew what it was going to be. But what's nice about having a QAnon, a central force for all of your conspiracy theories, is that it gathers them all together. You can identify them easier, and then it's easier to debunk on a mass scale, because as soon as we pull down the curtain around this guy, because have you heard who it is?
Oh yeah.
The guy that runs 8chan. And so out in the Philippines, I think he's just this crazy guy who sort of took it over. But as a result, it's the same reason why I'm glad that we have the KKK, because without the KKK, racism would still exist. Without the KKK, we still got racists, but it's not until they put on those hoods that people who aren't racist and aren't affected by it have to go like, oh shit, racists are around. So the existence of QAnon makes us go, oh, there's a bunch of crazy fucking people that we have to deal with.
This is straight up the whitest shit I've ever heard in my life.
No, but it's because it's like remember that Chappelle thing where it was like white people didn't believe that cops were beating black people until it was on the cover of Newsweek.
Yeah.
And they went, oh, looks like cops have been beating up Negroes like hotcakes. It's not until there's something that's so evident to people that are outside of the affected community that something can be done about it. And so Q is that. Q is the fucking white hood burning cross of conspiracy theories. So now Twitter's had to get rid of them. Facebook's having to deal with it. Moms are probably like checking QAnon as opposed to just porn on their kids' search histories. It's made what was already a problem tackleable. And so even though it's made it seem a lot worse, all it did is it brought a problem that was already there to the surface, and now we can deal with it. So thanks, Q, whoever you are.
My counter argument to this, Chris, would be I take a point that this is sort of the grand unifying conspiracy theory that seeks to explain sort of everything under this. But didn't we do that like for thousands of years? That has been what anti-Semitic conspiracy theories are, and those haven't been destroyed, even though it's clear that that's what's happening.
Yeah, but they didn't have like one organization. That was just like a lore. And also, aren't you glad that Jews are finally getting a fucking rest? This is the first time. If nothing else, QAnon has really laid off the Jews. He's been so obsessed with pedophiles that he has.
The ultimate conspiracy theory is that this was created by the Jewish community to get a break. That would be you would reach God tier conspiracy. And a safe lady.
Yeah, that's galaxy brain. That's yeah, that's another good thing is he's finally given Jews a break. Thanks, Q. He's really, I mean, he's doing God's work out here. You got any more anti-Q stuff? Because so far, I mean, I think I'm covering it.
Do you not find it dangerous that it will be very difficult to like deprogram people after this, and it's like, you know, tearing families apart, that sort of thing?
Good. That family, good. I don't think most families need to stay together. I think a lot of them, you don't want to be a part of it. All he's doing is giving like the nephew a reason to never talk to the uncle again. It's a clean out. And so again, that's all benefit. It's I know a lot of people that are stuck in families who aren't quite horrible enough for them to cut off, but are so bad that their heart starts racing when their mom calls. And now it's like clean sweep, get the fuck out of there. We got a comment from one of the streams from Baldy3. It says apparently QAnon has a similar plot to Dr. Sleep by Stephen King, which
see, it's derivative. That's even worse.
But I thank him for his sloppiness because the more it's like other stories, the easier it'll be to debunk him. So thank you, QAnon, for sticking to a book that nobody read. Who picked that up?
Well, it's actually a very recent book, isn't it? So it's quite possible that King ripped QAnon off.
That would be something.
Because
what if it's
the book's
Stephen
only
King?
a couple of years old, and
then there's so there's no ending. It's just like it just rises and rises and rises, and then it's like Lost and every other Stephen King book where it just sort of it's just over. You go, hey, what happened here? I would I mean, I didn't. What is the plot for Dr. Sleep? Does anyone know? I know it's the prequel to The Shining, but
It's a sequel. I can't quite remember.
Oh, it was a sequel. Oh, that's right. It's the kid grew up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some people who go around being nasty to kids because they basically feed off kids to get their powers, and they feed off kids who can shine. So they come back in with Danny, and they all go to the Overlook Hotel, and then you get people who look like the people from The Shining. I was quite tired when I saw it. I watched it after a gig. I was trapped in Birmingham for a couple of days. I was looking for somewhere to sit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was going to come up like this.
That's how I saw The Hunger Games.
Garrett Millerick's review of which is exclusively about the chair.
Yeah. Too tired for Dr. Sleep.
How was Dr. Sleep? There were cup holders. That was great.
I had some popcorn and it was warm.
So that feeding on kids thing, I mean, this is a bit of a digression, but if he really is following the Stephen King line, I don't know if you guys ever read the Dark Tower series. It was this series that went through all of Stephen King's books. It was this weird, like, haunting vision that he had for his whole life, where there was a gunslinger and he was sort of chasing death, and throughout there was this alien that was trying to destroy all of the universes, and part of it was they would take these kids and then they would like suck the shine out of them, basically, and that was
how many
they
legs
created
did
this
this
black
alien
hole.
have? Was it 8?
It was, oh man, oh no. That was,
well, no, it turns into a spider, isn't it? The clown turns into a spider in It. So
yeah.
Is that a big influence on your horseshit?
I mean, maybe that book did spook me out. That
clearly.
By the way, have you read the book for that, or have you just seen the movie? Because in the book there is a sex scene between 4 children that is very upsetting.
Yeah. I haven't read it, but I have heard about that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I read it when I was like 12, and I was like, I'm these kids' age, and this is wrong. This is bad.
Yeah, I am not the grown adult man.
Yeah.
So basically, saying here, please do check out the wicked Stephen King.
Yeah. So QAnon. What was where were we? We got lost in Stephen King.
So you're saying that it's a good thing that it's tearing families asunder because most families are bad.
Yeah. And I think that also, I mean, what's a better like arc for a story than falling out with your family, coming back a few years later to your hometown because you were disbarred from your law firm for doing coke off a defendant, and then you have to move back into your small town. This is literally a Robert Downey Jr. movie. And then you see the charm of your old life and your family, and you reconcile with them. I feel like you don't appreciate your family until you haven't spoken to them for 10 years and you reconcile with them. And so does the
method of does the reconciliation have to be preceded by them believing that the powerful drink the blood of children?
No, but that's a super useful one.
Like
it's a really
unnecessarily large.
I think that allows for a clean cut. That way you just say, out, as opposed to when it might be a more gradual, just you stop sending Christmas cards. You know, you flip the table, turkeys everywhere, you storm out. Okay,
so what we've got so far. So Chris, your organizing is excellent because it's sort of an Amazon marketplace for conspiracy theories. It's got strong branding, pulls them all to one place, and allows. It's a big branded thing, and everybody knows what it is. So they can fear it, like the Ku Klux Klan, and
it mobilizes non-believers into fighting against it. That kind of
and then also kind of. Not an argument that fits in with that. You're also arguing that it's good because it busts up families.
Yeah, that's just a fringe benefit. That's
okay. We're not saying that's not the principle of your argument. I know Ahir's saying that
that's getting an extra sauce with your nuggets. You know, that's
Okay. So we'll put that to side one minute. And Ahir, you're saying that you don't think that conspiracy theories and hatred need cohesive branding. They exist anyway as an undercurrent, and having them all slapped together and in everybody's face doesn't do anything to deal with them at all. It just makes them in everybody's face.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, I am taking a controversial pro-family line.
The controversial pro-family line. Well, I've got to say, in the spirit of the end of lockdown 2, where everyone's worried if they're not going to be able to see their family, and that's apparently a huge thing, even though everyone says that they hate Christmas. I've got to side with Ahir on both of his arguments, I'm afraid. So.
Outrageous. I think you're cute now. How about that? I think
I will say that you fought valiantly, Chris.
Thank you. I'm gonna listen back to this when I edit it for the podcast, and I'm gonna be like, I won. I fucking. This is what's gonna turn me into a Q guy. They're out to get me. They're trying to hold me down.
Yeah. The cute little story about the spiders at the beginning was a nice diversionary tactic before you get into it. But sorry, I've got to give it a shot.
I understand. All right, so that's the end of the first round. So we're gonna go into the speed round now. That was an excellent topic. Thanks, Ahir. I like that one. So Garrett, have you got these speed round topics in front of you?
I do, all 45 of them.
Good man. Yeah, I made a lot just in case.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you could just put down a notch for everyone that you point for everyone that we win as we go along, that would be great. Ahir, do you remember how this goes?
Fill me in again.
All right, cool. So basically, Garrett's going to say something. Oh, do you want to be for or against whatever he says?
I will be against.
So British every single time. It's amazing. It's like clockwork.
Yeah.
So
finally, integration.
I did one with an audience. By the way, if you're watching, I'm selling tickets for next week's with Laura Lex as the judge, and the audience is in. If you want to play the game, it's £5, and you can find the link in the chat. But I did one with an audience a few weeks ago, and there was British people on, and they said against, and I was like, British every single time. Canadians for every time. And then a guy joined the show halfway through, was Canadian, started the speed round, didn't hear me say that, said for, and I felt like an anthropologist. So you're going to be against. I'm going to be for. Garrett's going to say a word. You make a quick argument. I make a quick argument. We move on to the next round. We got 2 minutes to do it. I forgot to set up a 2-minute clock for the screen. So unfortunately, the audience won't know when it's up, but I will set one here on my phone. So we got 2 minutes on the clock. 1, 2, 3. Speed round.
Property.
Against. Property is theft.
For. What's wrong with theft? You got a thing and I want it.
I'm giving it to Chris. Goat. Goat.
Goat?
Yeah,
goat.
Like a goat.
Like a goat.
Or the goat, if you want to go LeBron.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go that way. I'm going to go goat greatest of all time, and I'm going to say against because it stifles ambition. You should want to be able to top that. No one reaches the pinnacle in reality.
But that's okay. So I'll say, as a sports fan, GOAT is great because it stops us from having to talk about anything real. We can spend 5 hours going LeBron versus Michael Jordan and never touch any of our feelings, and that's all we wanted to do. Next,
I'm giving it to Ahir.
Yeah.
Track.
However you want to take it.
I am against track because it is an incredibly boring athletic event, and I am not only saying that because I'm terrible at it.
Nice.
I love track because it's fuck, I hate it too. Pass. Next.
Cunning.
I am against cunning because it is a negative quality that is used only in order to secure victory in this game.
I am for cunning for very sneaky reasons that I'm not going to tell you.
It's Chris.
Yeah.
Nice.
Abbey. Abbey. Abbey.
I'm going to take this as being specifically about Westminster Abbey, and I'm against Westminster Abbey because once when I was like 23, I was like, do you know what? I'm going to have a day of visiting London landmarks. I grew up in London and I never see the landmarks. I'm going to visit the London landmarks. And I got the tube and I got to Westminster Abbey and they were like, it's £20. I was like, fuck you, and left.
Okay, I'm pro Westminster Abbey because as a foreigner, once you see the outside of it, you feel like you've seen London and you can just go get drunk. It's like that and Tower Bridge, and you're like, ticked all the boxes. See you later.
I've got to give it to Ahir.
Fair enough. All right, we got time for one more.
Foreigner.
Do it here. Do it.
I am against foreigners in a form of dramatic self-loathing.
Okay. You're from here. That's bullshit. I'm pro foreigners because they make expats look good. It's more of it's a linguistic trick that makes me safer.
Giving it to Chris. Giving it to Chris.
And that's the end of this. Okay, one more. All right.
Dollar.
Dollar. Oh.
I'm against dollars because I shall take the Queen's currency and naught else.
Giving it to Ahir. Don't even need to hear you, Chris.
Oh, bullshit. That was a setup. You've done a lot of military gigs. That's a sick salute. All right. So at the end of the speed round, Garrett, what's the score?
The score is 4 to Ahir, 3 to Chris. Actually, sorry, I beg your pardon. Ahir got first round. So it's actually 5 to Ahir, 3 to Chris. So.
Oh, shit. This is the first time that I've been behind since I've started doing this. So fucking good job, Ahir. All right. So now we're going to go on to the regrets round. Ahir, have you got anything that you regret? For the people that are watching, if you haven't seen before, the way the regrets round works is someone will tell me something that they regret, and I argue why it's the best thing they've ever done, or something that they're proud of, and I tell them why they're a piece of shit for thinking that. So, Ahir, what do you got?
Yes. So it's a sort of a regret of the past and a regret that I can already see forming of the future, if that makes sense. You know, I think that one thing that this year has done for a lot of us is that I really regret all of the times that I took what I now understand to be sort of quite a normality that was on shaky foundations. You know, I feel like I took a lot of that for granted, and I also regret the fact that as soon as we've all got our guts shot for the Pfizer, I know that I'm going to go back to being exactly like that, and will not like it. Now I'm like, I shall truly appreciate the sun. and it's like, no, I fucking won't. I'm just going to go back to the pub.
All right. So I understand the urge to want to like live every day in the present and appreciate the small things. But have you ever met someone who actually does that? They're fucking insane. They're insane. They're unwell people. They are hacky sackers. They are a lot of them are fucking goop suppliers. I guarantee you they're Gwyneth Paltrow fucking backups. They're unwell people. They're unwell that I think that it's like wishing you were one of those people that runs a marathon a day. It's like, what are you running from though? You're not. It's a level of, sorry.
Do you not think that perhaps we just say to ourselves that those are unwell people in order to make ourselves feel better about the fact that actually we kind of wish we were more like that?
That's a totally fair question, but I get to see these people on a long timeline, partly because I'm from Vancouver and that's their fucking capital. It's where they all live and I hate them. And also because I'm a bartender, so I used to see their life go. If they were regulars, they would come in, because I used to work at like really nice cocktail bars, and so they would come in and have like one cocktail and just be like, isn't this DJ amazing? And it's like, no, he's playing fucking, what's that guy with the auto tune and the hat, buy you a drink again and again. I don't know, it was the early 2000s when I did this. Yeah, no, they're unwell. They're hiding from something in their past, and that's why they're so stuck in the future. They're time agoraphobes. They are trapped, and it's a mental illness. So what's better is that you realize that you haven't done it, and that you realize that you won't do it, but you make the most of it as you can. I think that to try to force anything more will degrade.
I would argue that there is a slight difference between knowing, for example, that you live in a city where there are great cultural events happening all around you when they used to be happening, and wishing that you had taken advantage of that more because now you realize that you can't have it. I think that there's a difference between that and being a hacky sack single cocktail person.
Oh yeah, no,
I think that you are willfully conflating these things.
No, see, I think because you said that you took everything for granted that it was going on, and these are people that take nothing for granted, and they're it's either there are two extremes to that, which are the the very positive, insane people, and like Buddhist monks. And you don't want to be either. Those are the only people that live.
Yeah.
I lived in a Buddhist monastery for a while. You don't want to be a monk. It's no good.
Every time I play this game, I'm reminded by how absurdly varied your life has been.
I've had a really good time.
I'm giving it to Chris.
Yeah.
You lived in a monastery. You're a bartender. You're a spiders or aliens guy. If anything, I'm saying I want to be more like you.
I've got to give it to Chris, because you wouldn't go into Westminster Abbey. And it would cost you 20 quid. And then
I was so poor.
Yeah, but it's such an experience.
You can break into things like that. I remember when I was in the Louvre, or not in the Louvre, in Paris. You know the Arc de Triomphe?
Yeah.
So a big beautiful arc. It's there's a tunnel that you take to walk underneath this huge roundabout, but it costs about like I think 10 euros at the time to get there. And I didn't have any fucking money. I was like 18. I was traveling around, so I just ran across like a 10-lane roundabout to try to break into the Arc de Triomphe. And it turns out they don't have a fence around it. They're just like, hey man, you risked it, you earned it. Come on.
Garrett, I would like to point out in my defense about the Westminster Abbey thing that this happened a few months after an event where I had 26p left in the bottom of my overdraft, went to Tesco, bought some Rizzler for 25p, and then had 1p. And like under those circumstances, Westminster Abbey is too expensive.
Yeah, but you're not going back there now that you can afford it when lockdown lifts.
Yeah,
I want to.
Yeah, you're never going in. You're
not going in.
You're gonna watch the footage of Diana's wedding, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
Close enough.
So I'm still going to give it to Chris for a variety of very good arguments there.
Thank you.
So we're neck and neck at 4 points each.
I think he's at 5 because he got that first round.
Oh yeah, he did. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm going to put that
No
on.
problem.
Yeah.
Are there any? We took care of that pretty quickly. So, Garrett, have you got any regrets that you want to get off your chest?
Yeah, I really regret having a builder smash my house up 3 days before a national lockdown was. Which has led to me living in a Premier Inn.
All right, so
savoring every moment.
Fair enough. I would say, okay. So here's what I would say to that. For anyone else, that's a huge mistake.
Yeah.
But, and Ahir can testify to this, for you, it's an opportunity to make memories, because for the people watching, Garrett is a wonderful, miserable man. And if things are going well, he has no idea. Years could pass by. But as a result of shit like this happening, he actually gets involved in the world in his life, and he remembers things. He gets in touch with friends. He starts to be a person again. So I would say that this is really like a fucking dream come true for you, man. This is great.
Savoring every miserable moment.
Yeah. I will say to those watching, I also know Garrett well enough to know that this is the one argument in which Chris is not joking at all. That is like a sequence of true facts. Like, Garrett, you're very much like another friend of ours, comedian Glenn Moore, and I think that you fit into this as well. You are both men with objectively great lives, every element of which is conspiring against you.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
Yeah, this is going to be your show next year, so that's good. You got a show out of it. You got the time to write it. I
do have the time to write it. Yeah. I have no. All of my clothes were basically taken by the builders and put in the middle of boxes. I can't get to them, so I've had to be buying. This is a £4 t-shirt I bought from Sainsbury's, like down the road, and
you're going to be wearing that during the show. I guarantee you're going.
Yeah. I bought 2 of them. I wasn't being cheap. I bought 2 of them, but the other one is in the bathroom hanging up because I washed it in the sink.
Oh my God, this is perfect. This is exactly what you needed, man. This is.
Yeah. I don't know who I'm giving this to because you both.
We're just in total agreement on this one.
Yeah. All right. Everybody gets a point. I can't even argue against that. It's good. It's what they used to call character building stuff.
Yes,
we're saying that like my version of that at 37 is show building stuff.
Yeah, that's it. It's stuff that Calvin and Hobbes, the dad in Calvin and Hobbes, would really approve of. Be like, this is good for you. I hope the heating gets knocked out so you really suffer. All right, so that's
it's not warm in here, man. This is an old Premier Inn, so I've got this is what I've got. Yep. And they don't, because there's no breakfast here because of COVID, and also they won't make the room up. So,
of course, yeah.
So
will they give you like clean sheets outside the door or anything, or
no? You've got to ask for them. So I've been here for 9 days now. I'm probably going to ask for some more because I went to look at the building progress, and I've got to book in here for another 4 days minimum. So
oh really? Damn.
I'll ask them for some new towels when I do that.
Yeah. That was so bleak.
Glad you're enjoying it, Chris.
It's so good.
What's also really good about this is the fact that we all know you had alternatives. That for some baffling reason you've chosen not to take instead of doing this.
Yeah, how many people would have had you in their house?
It actually got so bad I had to ask people to stop offering because it was getting awkward. I've also got to the situation now where really with my in-laws and stuff, they are like, why are you paying to stay in a Premier Inn and you won't just come and stay at our house? And I'm like, I need my own space.
Yeah. Yeah, and importantly, with their daughter, your pregnant wife.
Yeah. She's there.
If I were them, I'd be offended.
They did seem to be offended when I came round.
Of course.
We're in your 4-pound t-shirt.
Yeah.
This is just how I live now.
I put a monetary value on not wanting to be near you.
Yeah. That's perfect. So it's self-inflicted as well. This is absolutely a choice.
Yeah.
And that's the reveal at the end of the show. I didn't have to do any of it, you guys.
Well, when you put it like that, it seems silly, doesn't it?
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. All right. So we're going to go into the second speed round now. Garrett, can you get the words up, please?
Certainly can.
Ahir, since you were against last time, let's make you 4 and I'll be against this time.
Yeah.
All right. So, 2 minutes on the clock. And go.
Union.
I am in favor of the union because reduction in the unionization of the workforce has led to worsening conditions and pay relative to improvements that were made in an era where there was more unionization.
I would argue that it just showed how few bootstraps were being pulled. And thank you, lack of unions, for shining a light of truth on how lazy we all are. Next.
I'm sorry. I've got to give that to Chris just because unions ran this country into the ground until Thatcher sorted the whole place out.
You forgot who the judge is.
All right. Flesh.
I'm in favor of flesh because otherwise you'd just be a skeleton. And every so often I think about the fact that I have a skeleton, and it's very distressing to me because I will never meet my skeleton. And I'm glad that the flesh hides it.
Chris?
First of all, flesh is a gross word for a very natural thing, which should give us an idea of how fucking wrong it is. Flesh. And second, I would say that, anything could have covered that. You could have been furry. There's no need for flesh of all the possible options.
But furry animals still have flesh.
Yeah, but they don't have to. Maybe it just grows out of a skeleton. We don't know what could have evolved. Spiders are aliens, guys. Anything's possible.
Okay, I'm giving it to Ahir. Bible.
Bible. Yeah.
Bible. I am in favor of the Bible because people put it in drawers in hotel rooms to stop people killing themselves.
Well, they used to.
They don't do that anymore.
No.
Have you checked? Have you checked for your Bible? Check right now.
Hang on a minute.
We're gonna pause the speed round.
There are no drawers.
Oh wow, that Jesus! Are there
Cubby
nooses?
Drawers.
There's no drawers. This is a cubby hole next to the bed, and there's no Bible.
How much is this hotel?
It's actually a very reasonable £30 a night.
Oh my goodness, that is incredibly reasonable. Thank you, Lenny Henry. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, so back into the speed round. If the Bible's so great, if it's the best fucking story ever told, how come nobody goddamn reads it? The Bible's a lie.
Giving it to Chris, and we're going with hospitals.
Hospitals. I am in favor of hospitals because having all of the sick people in one place is very efficient.
Yes, but you're arguing against.
No, I'm for this.
He's for in this one.
Oh, for. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we swapped. Yeah.
I'm also for hospitals because we fucking need them right now.
Fuck hospitals. What? All we need is a ditch, right, guys? It's just.
I'm getting it far here. Sorry.
Fuck hospital is what like a 2020 version of a Carry On film would be.
Fuck hospital. Starring Van Wilder. Time for one more.
Cassette.
I am in favor of cassettes because they bring back fond memories of being a child and having the cassette player in the car, which I thought was very futuristic and felt like the family were going places. I was very easily impressed as a child.
I am anti-cassette because I've hit my level of nostalgia with vinyl. Don't bring back tapes. I only have so much money, and I know you're going to charge £30 for them.
Giving it to Chris.
Yes.
Personally.
All right. That is the end of the second speed round. Garrett, what score are we at?
Chris is on 8, and Ahir is on 8.
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
Final round.
All right. That's
okay.
This is such a good game. All right. So last round is judge's choice round. So Garrett has a topic. Neither Ahir or I know what it is. So Ahir, do you want to be for or against whatever Garrett's about to say?
Let's go back to the British way and be against what Garrett's about to say.
Strong. That's also knowing Garrett. That's probably a very strong position. So Garrett, hit us for all the marbles.
Peter Morgan, the writer of The Crown, should be hung, drawn, and quartered in London for his negative portrayal of the future king, Prince Charles, in the recently released Series 4.
Oh my God. Okay. Wow. That is, our friend Tom could watch that. We could all go to his house and watch it from his window. I am at a disadvantage here because I've never watched The Crown because I'm not from here and therefore do not care.
I think I too, not being a fan of The Crown, I think that just baseline information so that everyone's on the same page. I think that basically certain scenes were made up in this new series, and certain people are very angry at the inclusion of fictional things for dramatic effect because they're like, this isn't a good way to show the royal family.
Okay, can we so Garrett, was there anything in particular about Prince Charles' portrayal that bothered you?
Well, he's portrayed as a very weak and immature person, and it's a very negative portrayal. I just think the idea of portraying your king in a negative way is something we really should bring back hanging for.
Oh, okay.
So it's not necessarily what's done it. I just think any negative portrayal of the monarch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really needs to
that
being the
what I would say early on is that living in the timeline that we do, where generally speaking the worst and or funniest outcome is always the thing that happens, Charles will never be king. So
guaranteed. That's
just straight off the bat. You can't be hang drawing quartering people for dissent against King Charles because there's never going to be a King Charles.
Fair enough. But I would say, just in case, maybe this can be his last act before his son becomes king, is to hang, draw, and quarter someone as like a warning. I think it's that a warning used to be a shot across the bow, but I think that now it's a hang, drawn, and quartering to keep other people at bay.
I would say that in the current environment that the royal family find themselves in, which since everything with Prince Andrew has, I would say, been not favourable, or not a favourable circumstance. People like the Queen personally, but they don't like the family in general and the firm, as it were. I think that if your position is that you want to maintain the monarchy, given that the monarchy as an idea is a lot less popular than just the individual person of the Queen, hang, drawing, and quartering someone for an offence against Prince Charles is probably the surest way of the monarchy ending up being abolished.
I think you are really, really, really underestimating the British public's bloodlust.
I was just going to say, you have not been reading the pulse of the country here. If there's anything that they want right now, it's violence.
Yeah.
And especially pro-country violence.
Yeah. Jingoistic violence would be very in.
Yeah, I think it would be their great comeback. It would be.
Oh, look, don't get me wrong. I am fully aware that the British public are up for some jingoistic violence. I just think that it's more likely to be targeted against someone who looks like me than it is a guy called Peter Morgan.
I think that this, in the way that like Guy Fawkes was a white guy, I think that this would really open it up again. I think it would just allow for anti-monarchy.
They didn't have any of us back then.
Yeah, he was a Catholic white guy, which was sort of a proto.
Yeah, he was the Packy of his day. All right.
Man, and he would have worn a T-shirt that said that had T-shirts existed at the time.
Yeah.
I think he had it on a doublet.
I think we're about to do away with the Good Friday Agreement, right? So war's coming anyway. So why not Catholics? Why not just set the stage? Just get in. What religion is this writer? Where's he from? What's his deal?
I don't know, but as a Catholic, I just want to say, I was all up for the fictional hanging of dramatists, but
you see, Garrett, this is where it doesn't just stop there. That's the thing. You start calling for the execution of this dramatist, and next thing you know, the wolves are at your door.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all know that the next group is always Catholics.
I think
that's always the first.
I was more just generally like suggesting the idea that the monarchy, if it wants to get back to things, needs to just Henry VIII the shit out of something, just one thing, and just be like,
so
come on, man, and be like,
kill Camilla.
Are you getting back into your conspiracy theories now?
they've already popped off one of his wives. So.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, so Camilla gets a divorce. Lucky bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. If you were the third wife, you would be very insecure around your neck region.
Yeah. Why doesn't it go like died, lucky, beheaded, lucky, nailed it? Yeah, no, I think if England wants to go back to the country that it was, I think it's important that it starts from the monarchy down, which begins with capital punishment for mocking any member of the royal family, and then it goes down to, I guess, not paying your loans. So it's a very important one. We get back debtors' jail, very important. We can turn all the museums that used to be debtors' jails back into debtors' jails.
That's a great idea. That is a very good idea.
Yeah, if England wants to go back, then let it go back. If that's the time that the English people have democratically decided they want to return to, then give in to them, and it's the will of the people. I say stocks, debtors' jail, capital punishment.
I would say that as someone who is currently speaking to you from a building that was previously the site of a Victorian debtors' jail, your line of argument would leave me homeless. Which is something that I am very much against.
Unless you don't pay your debts, and then you can just move straight back in.
Just stop paying rent.
Yeah, free of charge.
Oh my God, I can stop paying rent to stay here.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, it's a perfect solution. I don't know what you're complaining about.
This is the renting version of.
Fine with now, but it's the hang, drawing, and quartering thing is where I draw the line.
This is Chris's renting version of legging it into the Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah.
Right, so Ahir, you don't think we should bring back hang, drawing, and quartering for offending senior members of the royal family on the grounds that
the specific query was about Prince Charles, right? And I think that the public would have a very different attitude towards if someone had a go at the Queen.
The Queen's quite maligned in the new series of The Crown, so
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. You've got to agree on the terms of the thing. The terms of this thing were about Prince Charles.
He knows
no
he lost.
One gives
he
a
knows
shit about
he
Prince
lost.
I think on those exceedingly reasonable grounds, I have to give this to Ahir.
Oh, god damn it. On a technicality. This is bullshit.
My favorite sort of victory by default.
So that is 8 points to Mr. Chris Betts and 9 points to Mr. Ahir Shah.
God damn it. Well played, Ahir. Good job. Good job. Very well argued.
A worthy foe as always, Chris.
This was so much fun. Yeah, thanks, guys. So we're gonna end the stream right now. We're gonna take a break, cut off the stream, and then we're gonna get together and have sort of a chat. We're gonna talk about the show, see where it goes, for an extra show that I release on my Patreon. So if you want to sign up to my Patreon, the link is in the chat or in the comments, depending on where you're watching it. If you want to follow either of these guys, what have you guys got going on? Ahir, what are you up to these days?
Fuck all, Chris.
Nice. Good man.
I don't know if you've been following the news or anything that's been happening.
There's very little. Do you want to give any social media stuff you got? Or
my Twitter is @Ahir Shah. Should you be interested?
Cool. And what about you, Garrett?
I've got an album out called Sunflower, which you can get on Spotify and Apple Music and things, and all the links to that at www.garrettmillerick.com. And I've got another album coming out on 800 Pound Gorilla Records in, I think, about a month, and that's called Smile. Again, website.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah, I've seen both those shows, and they're incredible, and you should definitely pick those up. I think they're available on vinyl as well, aren't they?
No, they were going to be, but then the lockdown happened. But right now they're available everywhere you get your digital music. And then if we're ever allowed out on tour again, you might be able to find them on vinyl. But you can stream them everywhere.
Cool. Do that. Definitely check that out. Also, if you enjoyed the game and you want to play, if you want to take Ahir's spot, I'll be doing it next Wednesday. The guest judge will be Laura Lex, who's amazing, has done all the TV shows. She's just written what seems to be softcore fan fiction about Klopp.
Yeah.
So
it's very funny.
It's super funny.
It's very funny and mildly unsettling.
Yeah, a little bit. I like the vibe that I get from it is like, she says a thing. He is mean but logical. She's horny. But it's super funny and it's great. It's such a cool lockdown success story to go from a series of tweets to a book deal. It's pretty fucking cool, man. So Laura's going to be guest judging. The link for the tickets is going to be in the comments, or you can go to my website, thechrisbetts.com, and check them out there. If you want to do anything else, I encourage it. I can't think of anything else. So we're going to call it there. Thanks so much for going. Congratulations again, Ahir. Well argued. We will be back I will be back next week. Make sure to check these guys out. For now, take care and be safe. Bye, guys.